Night Coffee with Nat.
Hi, Nat.
Hi.
Are we on? Or is this thing on?
Is it on? 3, 2, 1.
Thank you for coming to my show. Thank you, Natalie, for being here. So glad you guys could make it.
He's already taking control of the entire show. Welcome to Night Coffees with Nat.
Hi, Night
We are
Coffees
here.
with
We want to hear from you. Come to our YouTube channel. Subscribe under Natalie Raitano. Tonight we have the incredible Jason Wimberly. Hi. Cheers, Jason.
Cheers.
Welcome to Night Coffees with Nat.
Night Coffees.
Mm-hmm.
I just call this Mama's Juice.
Mama's Juice. Well, I mean, first of all, it's basically the way we connected and really realized that we were soulmates.
We're both luscious.
That, and we both love KC, Kim Crawford. So,
Should I tell a story or you?
you tell it.
Okay, so, not long-time fan of this one. Know her for many years, took her classes. When I saw that she was leaving a certain gym that she used to teach at, studio, called her up, was like, let's hang out, blah, blah. Had a little meeting at my place. I said, just come over, let's get to know each other before we talk about anything else. And I said, would you like a glass of wine? She goes, yeah, sure, like wine, trying to be all subtle about it. She's like, sure, let's twist my arm. And then I pulled out our $13 bottle of Kim Crawford, and we had 2 of them, I think, probably, and fell in love right there.
Well, I go, is that Kim Crawford? And you were like, yes. I was like, this is going to work.
Yeah, okay. We've been married ever since.
So, Jason is the owner, creator of The Wall Fitness, and we want to hear
true.
all about that. He's also my boss.
She's my boss, really. And
Right.
also my Uber driver lately.
I am an Uber driver, and it's for Jason Wimberly, okay?
I have a very small Jaguar. It doesn't fit a lot of things in it, so when I need something bigger, I have to call Natalie to drive me around.
It's just an excuse to hang out. He's
Yeah.
like, I'll Uber for, I'm like, no, I'll hang out. It's just like my excuse to be with him. So,
It's a pretty glamorous Uber driver.
I am a black Uber driver, like a black car, okay? So it's costs
She
more.
means Uber Select is what she means.
It does. It's like, it's not a big
She's
SUV.
VIP Uber driver. I'm so punny. Okay, that's funny.
You are. So anyways,
back to me.
Back to you, because
Yeah.
this is all about you.
Great. Is this my
all
good side?
about you.
All
Well,
my good sides are good. They're all good.
Let's just say, one of the reasons why we want to have, they're all good. I mean,
Sure.
this guy,
Get 'em
I
all.
can't with the body, the face, the everything. I mean, he had to tell me where to go for my face. He's like, let's have a little,
When you're 413
wrinkle
years
talk.
old, like I am, after so many centuries.
when you sleep in coffins.
I have these little fruit smoothies that are a little bag now that's a new thing. It's
Oh,
called
yes,
Noga.
give us the secrets.
No, so I drink
Outside
them.
of on, give us the secrets.
I drink these little fruit smoothies. They're called Noga. They're actually really great. They're all natural, organic, superfood smoothies. But I was drinking one the other day, and you sort of have a little spout. You sort of sit there and suck, and you sort of feel like a baby because baby food. This is really my baby food. But anyway, so I'm drinking. My client walks in. She goes, "Is that a blood bag?" I was like,
Yes. Blood bag right to that skin.
the things we do for
Yes. But Jason,
beauty. That's me.
you are the owner of The Wall. You came up with the whole entire idea.
Yes.
Now, mind you, I want to ask you every single thing about that, like where that came from, where the concept came from, what made you want to brand your own idea, and then I want to talk about how much I love it and how much I believe in it, because it's one of the this guy is beautiful and pretty, but do not be fooled by this, because he is a badass motherfucker, okay? He will slay you in a class, and it's really one of the hardest and best workouts I've had in years.
Thank you.
And that's what made me want to work there so much. So, tell us what made you want to start.
Tell you about The Wall.
Tell me about The Wall. We're opening,
Where?
and that's why we wanted to have you on,
Thank you.
because we're opening in a couple of weeks. The flagship, the beautiful 5,000 square foot studio on La Brea in Wilshire. It's off the hook. Go
right now. So the thing is, I've been doing this. I've been doing it 12 years now. Taught over 6,000 classes in my career. I started professionally in the ballet by 17, and I had a fashion job as well and did other things, but fitness and movement was always my life.
Yeah.
And at the certain point that I was at in my career, you know, I make a lot of money as a trainer, I've done things, I had DVDs.
You're a celebrity
I've done,
trainer.
yeah, I've done it all. I've been on TV shows and all of it. There was only one
YouTube,
way.
you see you right there on Ellen's show.
I'm around.
With Jane Lynch. Hello.
I was like a maid coach at MTV, so at that point there was just really, I had to sort of do my own thing. And I honestly, it's funny too, the year that I found my investors and this all happened, I was actually sort of like that was my year of almost like, I might be retiring. Like I sort of like maxed out in a lot of ways and didn't really know where to go next. So I was gonna go into more like product development, maybe an app of some sort, but I love teaching classes. It's the most
you're
amazing job in the world. People come in stressed out, tired, whatever it is they're going through throughout their day, and we have 1 hour with them, and in that 1 hour we can change their entire day and change their entire mood, change their lives. And after doing this, 6,000 plus times all over the country, every time.
Because you're a master trainer, so you go to like Denver,
So
you go to Dallas.
train other trainers and
train the other
I
trainers.
create programs. I created all our classes, obviously. So I create classes, and then I teach them to other studios, and they do stuff. So.
But our class is way different than any just regular spinning class.
For sure, like everything we do at the wall is one of a kind, which is what's so exciting about it. And people always ask like, what is it? And you sort of have to experience it to really understand it. But the creating studio was just my only sort of next step. I had to, and it honestly has been the hardest thing.
But they came to you. They came to you. They sought you out.
Yes. The story goes, my investors were looking at opening a franchise of another studio in town and found me and were like, hey, we have some money, we have a job, and like, do you want it? And I'm like, no. And so I was like, no, thank you. Because the idea of doing a franchise and, I'm not that guy. I create stuff, I make things. So having to do something for someone else didn't make sense. And then they were like, well, what do you want? And I said, what do you mean? And it was like, well, we're here because we want you. That was just an idea. I said, oh. So it took a few months and created everything I created. And, it was fun because there was a lot of like creative processing involved and hiring an agency and like doing all that creative stuff on the back end. But the exciting thing was every single word, all the curriculum, the entire concept was just mine. And it was so great to have it be built from like, in my head all these years and things the dialogue about what the wall is, what holds us back, how we use movement to break through.
What's our philosophy at the wall?
Yeah, so it's all about breakthrough fitness. We use movement to break through whatever's holding us back. And a big thing that really makes us different right now in fitness is we move in unison and to rhythm, which a lot of studios aren't doing anymore. It's a lot harder. So it's literally like old school aerobics. We're like moving to rhythm and moving together, but with weights. And
I think that's coming back a little bit because
people miss it.
But people love it.
Yeah.
Because it really.
Wait, that's how you used to teach in the old days?
All day, yeah, been right up in it.
I taught actual jazzercise in the
Yeah.
90s, like real on, like I wore leg warmers, and I might be wearing them every now and then. But
why wouldn't you?
Yeah,
I mean,
I have a penchant for high kicks, as we might know, high kicks and splits, and I lay on
and laying on
handlebars.
bikes,
A couple pirouettes, and
couple like.
it's a show.
You get into it.
Fitness should be fun, and beyond that, I think that it's about the group. Like group fitness is about being in a group. You're not alone. You're not in it alone. So one of the big things, like I said, we do that's really special to us is moving in unison. And it was different for Nat. She hadn't been doing that in a long time, and it's a lot more work on the back end. So my staff goes through like a 6-week paid training program. We have all this requirements that they have to get through to learn to teach, and it's a lot of work. It's a lot easier to just be like, here's 10 stations, run around and do it.
Yeah.
But
That's
as an instructor, that's not really fulfilling at the end of the day for us. Like it's just sort of like, you can't really connect with your people when everyone's doing so many different things. So the wall was really about breaking down all those barriers that separate us and bringing us all together.
But
Hi,
look
BJ.
who came into the picture
Hi,
again.
pretty girl.
She's crashing the party. But the
two
amazing
blondes.
thing, where I've decided I was blonde today. Why were we blonde? Let's talk about the one major reason why we're blonde.
So this was before our wine.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, it was after.
We had one glass of wine and we couldn't find where we parked for 20 minutes. Hello.
No,
It
we'll
was
say that
fun.
we were carrying very large. I'm making all the excuses for it. We really were lost in the parking garage for
We were lost in the
20
parking garage.
minutes. Like walked in every aisle. I'm like, ask Siri where your phone is or your car is, and
But we're in a parking
I
garage and you can't even get service.
So we literally, like old ladies, lost. Had to we're like, do we call the guy? Do we get the car? What do we do? We had to walk out and walk into the parking garage to figure out where we were, and then we realized we were on the wrong floor.
We were. And then we found it 20 minutes later. But, so, that's how we
See, if I had more of this at our meeting,
Actually, we probably would have found it
2 glasses, we
immediately.
would have found it better.
I agree.
Night coffee, lunch
It
coffee,
was like, you know,
espresso in the morning.
absolutely.
Someone asked me that, like, how do you maintain your schedule? I said, my coffee cup's full of wine. Like, literally, like, that's the only way at this point.
Sometimes it gets you more focused, you know. That's
true.
like, as
Or
instructors.
I fall asleep.
Yeah, well, there's no sleeping. Do you sleep? I mean, there's like very little sleep for us.
5, I'm a 5 and
I'm
a half.
like a menopausal bitch, so I'm not sleeping. And you're like doing a million things and opening up like this big studio, so like there can't be a lot of sleep going on. And training your clients, and doing, like he does all the entire marketing and everything for us. But I'll tell you my experience when I first heard from Jason. I wasn't sure what I was gonna do when I moved here. So he's like, you know, I came into LA and I was like, I wanna take a class.
Well, I was like, what's going on, first of all? I was like, what's happening? What's going on? Tell me what's going on.
The retirement happening.
She's like, I need a break, but I'll find you in a couple months. I was like,
Right.
okay.
I was like, I need to breathe for a couple of seconds.
And
So
we were in my pop-up studio, which is great, actually around the corner from here, but at this tiny little space, we were introducing the concept. It was only 12 people in the class, but it was a great way to like introduce a brand new brand.
But Jason, you were like, look it online, go to thewallfitness.com, which everybody should do, and look at what we do. And so I immediately went and looked at it, and I was like, I don't spin. And you go, I know, darling, just come and take the class. That was the text, all right? By the way, before I met him, all right?
Yeah. We
So-
were just like socially like knew of each other, but hadn't actually.
But I remember you taking my class, and I really want to talk about that too, because, you know, in everybody's lives, even in our lives, there's ups and downs. And I remember you used to take my class in full on baggy clothes.
Oh yeah, we'll get there.
We'll get there. So I go in the class, I'm like, get on this bike. I almost flew off the freaking thing. Like, I was terrible. You know what I mean? Come here.
And I'll say, of my instructors now, like Erica Hood, her first spin class was with me.
Mm-hmm.
Taylor's first spin class was with me. Sydney was like, I will never teach spin. Rocky, like you, I will never teach spin. And I will say that there's, because of a certain studio that I used to work at, that big yellow one,
Yeah.
what they do is what people think is spin now, and it's actually not. It's not like.
Well, I'll say that I never, ever, and I will say this till the cows come home, never liked spinning until the moment I took your spinning class, okay? After it, I was like, oh, I like this. But see, there's a big element to this, is that we also do the weight training before, the 1, 2, 3 stacked. And one of the other things that I fell in love with was that you start with core. The first 10 minutes of any class starts with 10 minutes of core. And when I trained all my clients working with the back surgeon in New York City, I would always start with core, and I was like, I get that, you know?
And as a dancer, like, it was the first thing we would do too.
Yeah.
As you also know as a trainer, and if anyone has a back injury or anything, you just always activate the core first.
100%.
But I think in group fitness, it was really sort of like logistics thing, like you can't put stuff out and put it away, and how does this happen? And so at the big studio, we have 2 different large rooms. Each room is like 1,200 square feet, and we move through them. Our signature class goes 10 minutes of core activation, 20 minutes of weight training, and 30 minutes on a spin bike. And Natalie teaches one of our other signature formats, which is called stacked, 10 minutes of core, 35 minutes of weight training. But the idea of doing a workout and just laying on the floor and doing sit-ups was what everyone did, because it was sort of easier. Like, that was the way to sort of figure it out.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
So we don't do that. And
We-
the thing is too, there's so many workouts. When building this from the ground up, there are so many things I wanted to sort of improve in a lot of ways, because there are some classes that say, this is the best for you, or this is that. Like, our workout is scientifically proven to be the best way.
And
Not
I-
by me, but by multiple groups and studies along the world. If you want to burn the most fat and maintain lean muscle, or even promote lean muscle, you do strength training and then cardio.
And
if
I
you can only do, them together.
I am a product of that, because I was struggling so much with my weight. I put on 25 pounds with menopause, and my doctors put me on antidepressants, and I gained a lot of weight. My body would not move. And when I started with the wall, that was the first time I could get a change out of my body.
It's
I'm it's hard to get your body to change at a certain age, and it did. So I mean, I'm a testimony to that. workout, and that's why I wanted to work there so much, and I am just so happy to be working at the Wall.
And I'm very lucky to have her. I mean, she's obviously a superstar, super Nat. She's been doing not only fitness but everything else, and she's one of those personalities that, you know, I never thought she would even consider working for me. It was sort of like, hey, I just want to know what's going on, like tell me what happened. And
crazy,
then
right?
I was like, just come and try my class. And I remember actually the specific workout we did that day, and I remember it was very different, but it was mostly
hard.
It was on the floor. It was like a floor workout. We didn't really move.
And I love stuff like that.
Yeah, and Natalie was just like, that was one of the smartest workouts I've done like in my life. And I was
That's
like,
exactly
shut
what I
up.
said.
And I was like, she's like, no, really. And she just started taking class, and finally someone else told me, Natalie wants to work. I was like, no, she doesn't.
No, and
But-
then and then
I was
goes,
like, she's just being nice.
no, because
She didn't tell me. She told everybody else first. She was scared to tell
I
me.
know, and then you texted me, and I was like, well, I want to talk to you, and that's how we connected with Kim when I came over.
I was like,
Kim
let's get to know each
Crawford.
other with our night
Mhm.
coffee. My favorite thing is just to have meetings at home with one.
With one, yeah.
Like, I don't want to go to my office
I'm
anymore.
still learning
6
spinning.
o'clock
but-
meeting at home. She's doing amazing. And the thing is for Natalie, at 51 years old and being a boss at everything, and to have been a leader in her field and everything she does, to be willing to learn something new, that's one of the most admirable qualities. Because I've trained a lot of other trainers who think their way is the best, or are
Yeah.
open to learn new things. I always sort of say, like, I don't really want new trainers with a ton of experience, because then I have to break it all down if it's bad habits. Whereas Natalie, that was sort of a concern of mine in the beginning before we started working together. I was like, oh, she's been doing this, she knows what she does, she's not gonna want to learn. And it's the total opposite. She's the girl who is bringing her girlfriends in on a day off and like, let's go work out and practice.
Sit,
Like on a Saturday afternoon, and I'm just like, what are you doing? Like, call my friends, I'm gonna just do this, I'm gonna make it work. And it's just such a great, admirable quality, because most people are not like that. They're scared, they're intimidated. When I usually have to like train a trainer and I have that process, people usually quit. I've lost a lot of older trainers who are seasoned, and they just aren't willing to try something new.
They don't wanna.
It's an ego thing, they don't wanna.
I was gonna say. I didn't want to say it.
Yeah, they're not willing to admit that they
You
might be
know,
a better way.
It's that.
And I don't think I'm the best at everything, but I do know.
You're a great master trainer.
I do know even beyond
100%.
teaching, I think my strength is in training other trainers. Like I can figure out what to do to make them better. I know that that's my strength.
Yeah, and also you're a great teacher. I mean, it's a great workout, and I'm so excited to see us inundate the fitness industry, because there's nothing like it out there. And that's kind of like what's so exciting about it, is that there is not another workout. Everybody has their little, shtick, but ours is like special, and I think it's like really going to be something that people are going to be obsessed with.
Well, if you read about it on Vogue.com this week, we were called at Vogue.com.
Vogue, that is.
They called us, and we were in a feature as one of the top studios that will change the way you work out. So that was sort of exciting, and we're not even fully open yet.
But it did, and I am somebody who's been working out my whole life, and it absolutely changed the way I worked out, and it was really difficult. I mean, we how about my first day?
Yeah. It's hard for everybody. I mean,
Yeah,
tears and nauseousness and all of it, and lots of feelings. But you know what? Now too, for me, like as someone who's taught so much, I also thought as myself, it's always cracks me up when I see people who teach a lot and then they have to go like have a trainer and do other workouts. I'm like, I went to a class that's just enough.
Yeah.
And this workout is enough.
The first day, I remember you called me. You were like, "I'm surprised you haven't let me, that you were sore." I was like, "Sore? Like I'm in the hospital?" No, I'm just kidding. I was so sore, but I didn't.
I was expecting a dirty
so
text.
sore.
Usually I get a lot of dirty texts like F you, I hate you, I can't stop, I can't walk down the stairs.
Right.
But then they love me later.
Obviously,
Yeah.
after you look great in your clothes, nothing feels better than looking good. Nothing tastes better than looking good. Put your pizza down. Nothing feels
pizza?
better than
Really
looking
cheap.
great. It's summertime. But that being said, let's hear a little bit about your journey. And I know that we talked about, like, I had my knee's been bugging me, and you were telling me about your ACL tear,
Yeah.
or your torn meniscus. And
ACL first. So yeah,
you were in a wheelchair.
wheelchair, like fully. Had they not had these surgeries, I would have still been in a wheelchair. It's crazy.
Was that happening before or after you started spinning?
So I was already teaching spin. I started as a professional dancer by 17. I was in the San Francisco Ballet. Went to boarding school for the arts before then. So I've been moving literally since a baby and did it professionally at a very young age. And then spin I discovered at about 22 in New York, and it was the first 23. It was the first time since dance that I found a movement that was emotional for me. Like I literally, like my first spin class was in New York City Equinox, and I was sobbing at the end of it.
Yeah.
Before Soul Cycle was around, before any of those things were around.
I cried too. Like, I'm like, what's happening right now?
And it was really because it's, and they've done studies on this too, it's one of the few physical movements that you're like locked in, you have to be present, you're like forced to really be there. With a lot of other things, you can just sort of drop the weight or it stops, or especially a lot of classes now, always like there's like stations, you can sort of like slack.
But aren't those like locked up emotions that need to get out?
For sure, and it's part of the walls that you need to let go of.
Right through.
But it wasn't until spin that I had that connection besides dance.
Yeah.
So I was like in the front row at Equinox and 23 years old and I just started sobbing. Everyone's like, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I just really love this. And I would be like a total freak about it. I would literally leave my office on Fifth Avenue. I was working in Gucci at the time. And like go take 2 and 3 spin classes a day all over New York. Follow this one guy around, became a total groupie. And after a few years of that, I said, I just want to teach this. I love what this does for people. I love the way it feels. It's so easy. And you know, as a dancer too, I loved cardio at the time, so it was a big thing for me. And my first spin job was teaching at 24-hour fitness.
Wow.
12 years ago. You know, making $40 a class, and there was no rhythm writing yet, and I was writing to the rhythm without even knowing that it was like a thing yet.
Yeah.
And I was doing a lot of weird things. I actually got fired because I did so much weird stuff there. I used to turn off the lights, so they like track lighting and like fluorescent lights. I'm like, I can't teach them this, and so I would turn off the lights.
Get
so
the
you
lighting
can't,
right, people.
Yeah, and then
just by the way, when you come to the wall, the lighting's right.
Our new studio is gonna be amazing. I'll tell you guys about that. But so I would like turn off the lights, like you can't do this. You know, it's like 24-hour fitness. I'm like, I'm gonna do it. So they would like put a lock on the lights for me, so I couldn't turn them off. And so then this is what a diva I am. I'm like 20.
You're a diva.
25, 20, yeah. So I would go to the circuit breaker and turn it off, so I could turn off the lights. So that's why I got fired. Oh, and then I did a lot of weird things. Like I had this whole, mind-body connection. I would talk about it in my classes, and people back then didn't know.
Right.
They're like, what? But one day I had everybody write a sticker. So I brought stickers in for the whole class. My classes were literally the only class at 24-hour fitness that had a wait list that would people would sign up for. It was just, no one was doing that yet. And I brought stickers and I gave everybody a marker and said, we're gonna write the word stronger on these stickers today. And they're like, what? I was like, everybody do it. And so they had to write the word stronger, and I made them put it on their bike or on their person somewhere, and I took the clock off the wall. And my classes were 45 minutes back then, and I taught an hour-and-a-half class and didn't tell anybody. But the point was that our intention from the beginning of the class was that we were stronger. So we all had this focus as this group of 45 people. We went in and did it. We wrote it down. We put it on our bikes, and not one person knew the class was longer. Not one person complained. Not one person felt anything. They just felt strong and did it. So I was doing all these weird things a decade ago, and people were like, "Who the fuck is this kid?" And then, so I got fired. But I used to post videos on YouTube, and that's what you did back then. And there weren't even that many, but I would just post videos of me riding to the rhythm. And Soul Cycle called me, and were like, "Hey, we want to meet you. We're gonna fly out to New York." And I said, "Okay." And so that's how I met Soul Cycle, and they flew me out. And my audition with them was teach a class for the owners. I subbed a class, and I was on the schedule a week later. I didn't go through their training or anything, which was part of my downfall there, is that I didn't actually do their full training program. And so the lead trainer there and I always sort of
butt heads.
Yeah.
Happens.
Yeah, because I wasn't one of her groupies. And I had my own.
You're definitely not a groupie.
I had my own ways of thinking. Yeah, I had my own ways of thinking about it, and I would challenge her, and it didn't. I was there for a while, and it was good for me. But actually, so I moved to New York with them, and then back to LA. Opened the first Soul Cycle LA
the
6 years ago.
In West Hollywood.
Yeah, so I was one of 3 people that moved out to open that, and I got fired from Soul Cycle.
Wow.
Because of my constant butting heads with the lead trainer. But had that not happened, I thought I would have been there. I thought that was all I would do when I moved to LA, and it forced me to start my first DVD, to create new programming,
because
to
you
branch
do
out.
have a whole brand.
Yeah, so Wimberly was my first product line, and I
Your
created
resistance band.
Yeah, so I would never have done any of that. I would have just been sitting at that studio being a groupie.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have the wall. So.
And you. There's no. The thing about that is there's no. They cap you.
Right.
There's
Again,
no.
I would have been.
You're here.
Yeah.
You're here. That's the highest point, and everybody else.
I get hot, guys.
You are hot.
I'm dewy. It's
that,
hot, right?
Well,
I'm going through menopause, so.
It's contagious, and I gave it to him. So.
Second in my purse. You guys,
Thank
very serious. Just gotta pat her down.
Pat her down.
Do you want to do it?
Oh no, I'm good. Just don't take this. I'm always hot.
This is real time over
I
here.
work out a lot, in case you guys didn't know, so you just gotta pat her down.
This is family. You can do that.
Yeah, I know. I do this all the time.
There it is.
Uh-huh.
But Jace, tell us about whenever you got hurt. I want that story.
So, I
Back
survived
when you were in a wheelchair.
a professional dance career, never hurting myself, which was like shocking. And go skiing with my family, last run of the day,
Skiing.
And I was like, skied my whole life, but
Can
it's
we
like,
talk about your dad?
my dad. We gotta talk about one thing at a time though.
Okay, sorry. I was like, is your dad like hot? He is.
My whole family's really beautiful. It's
Yeah.
sort of annoying. So skiing with my family, tore my ACL,
Yeah.
and this was in 2010, 2009. At that point, you know, my whole life has been on my legs. I literally paid my rent by moving my legs, whether it's
Right.
dance or teaching or just being gorgeous, all those things that my legs required.
I
So
got it.
tear my ACL, and I wiped it on a jump. I was by myself, last run of the day, no phone, sun's going down, I crashed. I'd never been that injured in my life. Wipe out, I hear the snap,
Ugh.
and my entire body covers in sweat. And I'm laying there, and I wasn't going down a run. I was, you know, I think I'm Superman. So I was like jumping through trees, like not on a trail, like by myself. So I crash, and I wipe out, and it's snowing, and I literally had to lay there for like an hour because I was in so much pain. And finally I had to ski out on one leg. There was no one with me, I was by myself. So I skied out on one leg, and I was like, I'm fine. And the next day my knee was the size of a football.
Mm-hmm.
So I was so scared of surgery because knowing the recovery and, you know, just even now it's changed a lot in the last 8 years,
Yeah.
but, you know, this was a while ago, 2010. So I go through a month and a half of PT and rehab, and I was like, listen, I will do whatever you tell me to, but my legs, I do a lot with my legs. Like, I'm an athlete, like I teach 15 classes a week, like, I need to be full capacity. Like, yes, you have to do rehab, correct, rehab. So I spent all this time and money going to rehab. First day back, doing movement, and I tore the rest of my knee. Every ligament was gone. So I literally another snap, fell to the floor, and couldn't walk.
Oh my god.
So all the ligaments in my knee are now replaced with cadaver. So there's a really hot dead guy inside there.
Really?
I asked where it was from, if it could be like Dominican Republic or something, or Venezuelan, but they didn't tell me. So
yeah.
but like the crazy thing is, so after that, I was in a full leg brace from here to here, like hip to ankle, lost 30 pounds. My quad atrophied 7 inches, so my quad was the size of my calf. And if you've seen my legs, they look amazing now. But it was like a really, really scary thing. I couldn't even walk. I was in bed and like peeing in a big cold cup and couldn't shower. This was like the darkest time of my life. But because of that, I spent a lot of my downtime studying, learning more, like educating myself on corrective exercise, taking
What did
courses.
you do? Where were you? Were you?
I was in San Diego. No, I didn't even tell my family. I was in just such a like down, horrible place.
Oh my
To
God.
have your whole life be about movement and then not be able to even walk.
Yeah.
It was devastating.
Yeah.
But as a trainer, it made me take even more responsibility in my education and learning even more, and so that I knew how to help people that had injuries and to help prevent them.
Mm-hmm.
So that was one of my issues with that yellow studio too, is that a lot of stuff they did I knew wasn't safe, and I would argue it, and I'm like, this is not okay. When we had instructors hemorrhaging discs while teaching their classes, I'm like, something's not right. There was just a lot of things going on, and it didn't work.
Well,
But now at the wall, I was able to create my own way of writing that
and
is
we have
very
like
different.
custom bikes too.
Yeah, like everything.
It doesn't hurt.
The bike is 4 different bikes that I put together. Like no one else has this combination of a bike ever. And
We focus on form a lot.
back to basics. And because we do not just the spinner class, we do have them at the new studio, but the bike is hard enough. Like
Yeah.
riding a bike is enough. You don't need to be clapping and doing all this crazy stuff. And I don't know, I just think that a lot of the training that we do at the wall is cleaner and more basic. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. And with fitness, unfortunately, because
That's my no.
because the industry has that is nice. The industry has grown
90
so much.
moves in 5 minutes.
Well, everyone's trying to get on the fitness game, right? So they're always trying to get their gimmick. They're trying to reinvent it. And I think that's actually like the opposite of what we're doing. We're trying to take it back to what just like
Keep it
basic,
simple.
clean moves that are accessible, but put them in ways that are more challenging. So like Natalie's an amazing creator of content, and I don't tell my staff exactly what to teach. We have like guidelines and we have training, but they're allowed to give their own flavor and create their format or their content. But in an attempt to be the over studious student.
And my friends that are taking the class are like laughing. I was like,
I mean, she tries really hard. She works really hard. So she would come in and she'd do like 20 moves in like in one phrase. I'm like, what did we just do? And then she would, and then it became, let's take my class tomorrow, it'd be like 3 moves. The most simple thing. She's like, oh my god, that was way harder. Like why, So it's just about learning the flow of how we teach and how we create. But
it's a new style.
Yeah.
But yeah, I try.
But it makes sense, right? And it feels good on the body.
It does feel good.
I don't things.
It's results driven, and that's like what everybody wants. They want to be in shape.
Which is why we built a digital platform too. So so many places say like, this is our 1,000-calorie class, or this is the best workout in the world. I'm like, how? Like prove it. So we use heart rate monitors, and I have a whole digital platform that tracks your performance, tracks your calories burned, shows when your heart rate went up, went down, all that stuff, and it goes to our app, so you can track your performance every workout. And because of that, we've been able to prove things like by doing core first, we burn more calories. We've been able to show the benefit through it.
And it's not just a bunch of sit-ups.
And we can't fake it. We don't even do sit-ups. Like that's the thing though, with this digital platform, I'm able to prove how good this stuff is for people, not just say we're the best like other places.
Right.
So that was a big part of it too, the digital side of it.
What about our studio? Talk about it.
It's Natalie's studio basically, because she's going to be the head boss there. We will be, I believe, the largest studio of its kind in Los Angeles area, like that has multiple formats, multiple rooms. Where it's a 5,000 square foot space with 2 rooms. We have a grab and go cafe. We have a huge retail area and lounge and outdoor seating and free parking for 90 minutes.
That would be free parking for 90 minutes.
Unheard of in Los Angeles.
We're in LA, and when you have free parking for 90 minutes,
no one. I mean, most people just validate, and it's still $2. We're in a huge full block parking garage with like 300 spots.
And you can go shopping right after.
Lassen's next door, European Wax Center, and Bevmo around the corner. We're right next to BMW.
Kim Crawford.
Oh, BJ. No, it's going to be really exciting. And the thing is, the pop-up did so well, and it was such a success, but it wasn't the real experience. Like, there were no locker rooms. There was like one bathroom people had to like change in. There was no, it was fortunate people would walk in and be like, this is a pop-up, but we threw it all away and it's gone. But to have a full luxury experience now with like all the high tech, the monitors, the screens, the showers. We even have a custom created spa line and bath line in our locker rooms by Gazelle in the UK. It's all branded for the wall, signature scents, the whole thing. So I've spent my whole life getting ready to do this.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm a little crazy and also just really excited. Like people always I'm not scared at all. I've had like a few over the last 2 years, like Britney moments where I just crawled in bed and drank a lot of wine and thought I was gonna shave my head. Because for the most part, like I don't look at what other people are doing. I don't follow other studios. Like my business partner, he's definitely seeing what everyone's doing. And I'm like, I don't want to know because
but it's just like, what does it matter?
It's good I guess it's good for him. He does operations for me, so it's good that he knows what's going on out there. But for me, like to create something new, I can't know what other people are doing. I have to do it myself.
You have to just stay in your gift.
Yeah, I just do what I know what I'm doing. But sometimes every now and then I'll be like, oh god, am I doing the right thing? And then I get like an amazing affirmation, like having someone like Natalie, believe in what I created and want to teach for me, and like, so it's been a really great journey. I just can't wait to finally deliver it, to really show everybody.
You're about to deliver it in a couple of weeks, maybe.
Yeah, we're looking at a mid-March or mid-May soft open, probably like around the 16th, and then we'll be fully open the following week, like end of May.
Yeah, we'll be all ready for it.
Stay tuned. We'll make sure everybody knows. Natalie has a full. She's teaching every day.
Oh, yeah.
So you'll see her.
We're offering something that most studios don't, and we're going to offer a great stretch program.
Yeah, we're really excited. So we have the 1, 2, 3 stacked. We have stacked. We have just
stacked
spin.
Is just the weights.
Right, and then
1, 2, 3 stacked
is the full combo.
1 is the
10 minutes
abs.
of core, 20 minutes of weights, 30 minutes of
3
bike.
is the bike. We've got to break it down.
And then we have Wimberly, which is just our 40-minute spin class. But the most exciting thing for us, old ladies, is our stretch class. And we call it stretch with a 3 instead of an E because we focus on the 3 pillars of self-recovery. Mm-hmm. So it's about deep guided stretching, breath work, and mindfulness. So every stretch we do in the class is held for at least 60 seconds to 90 seconds, which never happens. On each side, and we go through 12 to 15 class stretches and then a lot of breath work and mindfulness. And it's just having that time, because even as an instructor, what do we say all the time? I gotta stretch more, I gotta do this more, and for the first time, now that I'm,
The line of the century, I have to stretch more.
Yeah, and we don't. No one does. Professionals don't do it. No one does it. No one does it. And so I was like, you know what? We had this struggle of Natalie's used to teaching with benches and like having more equipment in the weight room. And I said, if we do that, then we are locked into it, right? I want to have a mobility to do stuff. So stretch is really exciting for us because we need it, and I need it. You need it. I'm to that point now. I'm reaching 40, and I'm almost there, and I don't jump out of bed as easy as I used to anymore. Like, I have to do a few stretches in the morning.
My heart. There's a violin over here.
But this is, okay, and I'm being really honest, I didn't have that in my early 30s. I have it now as I'm close to 40. And it's like, I have to, if I want to be in this business and healthy, take more time. So having a class dedicated to 50 minutes of nothing but stretching and breathing, I'm really excited about. And no one else is doing that besides yoga, but yoga is not actually recovery either. Yoga is not a recovery class, people. It's actually a workout. So this is like passive, long recovery, stretching work, and breath,
Right.
breathing. So we're really excited about that.
We're very excited.
We launched at the pop-up, it sold out in minutes, and we had a few classes, and now it'll be on the schedule every day, which is really exciting.
I'm teaching one, but I'm going to have an intensive
Yeah, we have a group training coming up.
group
Natalie
training
loves
coming
those.
up. I do like group trainings. I actually do like learning more, and it's exciting. So that was the seriousness of this.
Oh, my knee injury is the serious part. It was actually horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fact that you run around and like, your heels the way you do. Speaking of heels, you do drag. Talk to me about it.
I don't call it drag because I'm not trying to be a woman.
That's what I wanted you to say.
Because drag technically, like by definition, is dress resembling a woman. That's
Right.
a girl. So I don't imitate women. I just look really good in lashes and a pair of heels.
Yes, you
So, and it's so funny for me, I've been in books, I've been in magazines, I do runway shows in heels, I was on MTV's Maid as a maid coach, I would teach little girls how to walk in heels. I've been in heels, but it's because of ballet, my feet are like bananas and they're just comfortable, and I'm good at it. But I never...
do. What size?
I wear 9.5 in women, so
Okay.
I'm like 8.5 in men's. So I used to but I don't put on wigs very often. Sometimes I have this helmet with a ponytail, it's like a thing, but
Right.
I'm not dressed as a girl. I don't tuck, I don't wear boobs.
I know, I found he didn't talk. And
Generally,
I
I
was
try to
completely
enhance
obsessed
it,
with it.
trying to show it off a little bit. But it's funny to me, too, because a lot of times people will call me, interview me about a drag thing, or listen, you can call it whatever you want, but I'm not trying to be anybody else.
What started you with that? Just because you're so pretty?
Yeah. I mean, honestly,
It's a little annoying.
I know the thing is, I obviously don't look like most boys, right? So growing up as a little kid, I was the kid who on the first day of school, the teacher would think was a girl. I was that big cheekbones, these are real, big cheekbones, real big lips, tiny nose, curly blonde hair, very thin. I just was very pretty. And
what part of your life did you own that?
oh yeah. I came out. I grew up in a little farming town in Northern California, wine country. A small town called Lodi. If anyone knows where that is. And sorry, I love wine. My grandfather owns 14 wineries there. So we grew up drinking wine and running through vineyards and riding horses. But it was like a one high school town, pickup trucks, that. And I was definitely not that. And I came out at 14 years old, a freshman in high school in this little podunk town. And this was, a long time ago.
A minute ago.
So I came out, and I did not just come out. Most kids would come out and be scared, and I looked like this even back then. Then I was on the dance team. I would perform in the dance class with I was the only boy of all this, of course. And then I was an actual cheerleader where I would go out at the football games and cheer and do touches and high kicks and stuff. And this is in the early 90s. No one was doing this back then.
What was the reception like?
People always ask, were you beat up? Were you this? And it wasn't at all. And I think, obviously there were some jeers and snide comments and stuff like that, but I think a big part of it for me, and looking back, this is what I tell people, is that I was so physically strong in myself because I had movement. I was a dancer, I was cheering, I even played soccer. I physically felt empowered, so it translated into my personality all the time. I would occasionally have guys say stuff, and I'd be like, yeah. Or I'll never forget one day I was walking around the gym, and these guys were like, oh, are you the fat? Are you the gay guy? I was like, yeah, do you want my number? I'm single, if you're available. And I'm a 14-year-old, skinny little, not even 100 pounds, Like, should definitely have been scared, but I wasn't. And because I wasn't, they couldn't really touch me.
They were scared.
They were like threatened by me. I wasn't scared. So they were like, oh. And like I never got beat up. Like stuff that you would think would definitely happen to the kid who was like the only boy performing at a pep rally in front of this like in a cow tipping town. It's a cow tipping sort of town. And I'm like, hi guys. But I think it was really physical movement. And my father's a bodybuilder and a trainer still. My whole family's really active and has been our whole lives. So like just having that strength in yourself makes you more untouchable. And that's one of the reasons I created Fairy Game Mother, which was my charitable organization for a while, where we did group fitness programs at homeless shelters.
I was just about to bring it up.
Because
out of all the shit he does, I had to drop something off at the pop-up one day. He's training homeless kids and working them out, like from the shelters, right?
Yeah.
I was like, wait, I'm sorry.
I don't talk about it a lot because it's one of those things like.
Well, yeah, because you're not like, oh, I do this and look at me.
Well, these kids are at risk, so we can't like photograph them. I don't it's not. I do it for them, but there are 7,000 homeless kids in Los Angeles that are homeless under 25 every single night. I consider
that don't have the security within themselves that you do,
and
they
they're homeless. And the majority of those kids are identified as LGBT. The stories that come out to their parents. They live in Oklahoma. They come out and they get kicked out, and so they move to LA to do something with their lives. Right. So these kids are just trying to eat, sleep, shower, and find a roof over their head. The last thing I think about is like how to take care of their bodies and group sports and like that thing. And so knowing that also my family, I will say, was very accepting. I didn't come from a religious household, so I didn't really have that pressure of what's wrong. Right. I just was like, this is me, no one's gonna worry.
And how many brothers and sisters do you have?
I have one sister, and then I have a ton of cousins.
Okay. I know that you travel a lot to see them, and you're like their favorite uncle, obviously.
I'm the favorite of everything, Natalie.
Yes.
So,
one of my favorites.
And really humble is my number one attribute.
Very.
And shy.
Humble.
Yeah.
Sit down.
That's a good song. Yeah, so homeless kids, and honestly, I believe that's why I survived unscathed as a young gay person, is one, I had a great family that didn't judge me on it, and two, I just felt physically strong. And so I tried, for many years, I ran this program called Fairy Game Mother, where we would just work out with these kids. Mm-hmm. There was no requirement. Sometimes I'd have 5 kids and I'd have 20. Mm-hmm. I used to go to the shelter and I'd park my Jag around the corner and wear baggy clothes and
really into Jaguars. Which is so insane because you know who loves Jaguars? My father.
And the Queen of England.
Yes. And Bart Raitano. Bootsky.
Hi, Bootsky.
Yeah.
So I would take balls with them and work out in the shelter, and then finally we started doing it in my studio. They'd come over and work out with us there. So we'll have another program with them. Lately I've had a little bit too much going on to be seeing them weekly, but I used to see them twice a week, and so they'll be coming to the new studio hopefully soon.
New studio.
Using our time.
The Mother Lode on La Brea and Wilshire. What's the actual
address? Is 730 South La Brea, and get this, we did not do this on purpose.
Okay.
My birthday is 7:30.
7:30. We're having a celebration for Jason's birthday, and that's where we will
our address.
For it on La Brea.
And this was my 4th lease, trying to find a lease in LA.
Yes.
Because opening a commercial business in LA, if anybody's wanting to, don't do it. It's so hard. The requirements and the regulations and the permitting.
The permits are the shit show.
Well, fitness, so group fitness is worse. Group fitness in restaurants. I have to have 10 parking spots for every 1,000 square feet. Mm-hmm. That means that 5,000 square feet, I have to have 50 spots available at all times. 50. Where in LA? Where? Unless you're in Equinox or, the big gyms. So you either have to have valet, charge your clients $2 to $4, and then still have valet maybe, or you're in a big place when you're a big company. So that's why their studios either stay smaller until they don't have those requirements. If you stay at 1,000 square feet, 10 spots is doable,
right? Or
whatever. But 5,000, but I knew I had to go big. So we had 4 of the leases in the last year and a half that fell through because of the parking issues. And I wasn't, to do valet for a studio for a year was $85,000. To just have people have a place to go. But then also, that's a nightmare. If I have 40 people coming in every hour, they need to be able to park easily and come in easily. So we technically have...
Parking is everything.
It's everything. And we have free parking, which not many have.
No.
and a multi-tier garage with like, you know, car wash. It's like one of those big.
Then you've got the grocery store next door that if you need to like the health food.
Well, as a new studio too, we wanted to increase the value of what we do. So like our shoe rental for the spin classes is free. Parking monitors are included. Like you have to pay for water is free. Towel service is free. Like all that stuff's included in your price, and our classes are still better priced than everybody else. So it was really important that those things were built into the price, not like nickel and diming.
They came and checked with us for sure.
Yeah.
So
we can't wait.
No, we can't wait. Now
the drag story, yeah, that's that, me and heels. And then little gay boy. Isn't that crazy?
No.
I mean like that was a lot of balls though. Like the only boy. And I go out like
I love the fact
silver
that
lame
you're
hammer
gay. Yeah, I do. You want my number?
Yeah.
Bitches. Get your fucking
and
lane,
one of them
okay?
did actually. One of them did. I was very popular.
Well, obviously they did.
I had a.
You're probably like prettier than one of those girls in your school.
You want to hear some good gossip?
Yeah.
Do we have more wine here?
We got 2 more. Sid, bring it. Bring it in.
I'm really
Bring
dehydrated. Really dehydrated. It's working so hard now.
We are. It's fun now.
I'm a little shiny, but I just got a chemical peel with Dr. Landon's. This new guy I just went to.
Well, how about us
Are we
all
gonna talk about
going to the
fillers?
same place?
I'm literally touching my face on the show.
It's not.
We
doesn't
love
matter.
the KO Institute.
We love that.
We love it. Oh well, we love a lot of things. So we love the KO Institute in Santa Monica. Han does our fillers there, and not that we have anything, but
Yeah.
a little bow, a little touch up. They're amazing. They're really good to us.
Listen, I don't care. I will talk about all my fillers, all my stuff, Sid's making, Sid, here's your cameo. I'm the wine sommelier.
She has a good pour too.
I know who I'm working with.
Well, thank goodness, like for Sid, because she doesn't drink. And, okay,
I
damn.
love it, DD. I know. It's my boyfriend. I was like, I'm working with Natalie tonight. Don't worry.
We were just gonna bring it up. I was like, I know that you are not single, and I wanted to talk about my bear.
Natalie likes my boyfriend a lot. His name's Zai. He's amazing. He's
everything.
my rock, and
Yeah.
I'm a very crazy person. I don't live in a reality most of the time. Like, I just literally don't know where I am until it's on my calendar, and they tell me what to wear and what to do. I just like I'm gonna dance monkey dance.
But he was happy you were with me, I'm sure, right?
Yeah, of course. He loves you. But the poor guy, he just.
I know.
I'm always like running here and doing this, and my life is just not normal. And so he just is very understanding. And
You guys been together how long?
2 years.
Wow.
So he deals with a lot of my craziness, and I'm pretty crazy,
Terrible
but in the
twos.
best way.
It's the terrible twos.
Yeah, it's our first year we were together. My life was much more simple. I had weekends off. I had money. I was before you start a business, you have money. When you start one, you no longer have money.
Yeah.
I don't make money yet, and my savings is gone. It's been a rough year. But when we met, it wasn't like that. I was good. Things were good and free time, and now it's like I work all the time, have no money. I'm constantly stressed, which is why I'm usually drinking night coffee.
Make coffee with.
But he's very supportive and understands that it's
Yeah.
just, this is what I've been building my life for right now.
100%.
To work with women like this.
Well, okay, I have what we call our inner hoe. Now, that's why I asked you about
I think
drag.
it's a little outer.
Right, but is there a name for yours?
No. I
You have
mean,
no
like,
names. I mean, okay, I'm
most people just
wondering,
call
like,
my
if
drag
you-
name, they just call me Wimberly. Just my last name.
Wimberly.
Which people also think my last name's
No
fake.
way.
So, cause how genius is that though? My last name's Wimberly, my first company was Wimberlean.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm so lean. It's
You are
very
very lean.
I'm a marketing genius, basically.
He is marketing. He does all of our shit. It's like,
A lot of my employees call me Wimber Bitch, so that's a
do
thing.
we?
And then sometimes I can hear like Wimbo, I think because it sounds like bimbo.
Wimbo? Well, today we were. But, like, okay, in a relationship,
Yes.
does your inner hoe come out? Like, is there a name for her?
Oh, she's always this there.
And is there a name for her?
No,
No name.
I'm quite vanilla, shockingly. Like, I don't have any like weird fetishes
Yeah.
or like, there's nothing like I need.
Right.
Just like good, sweaty, have a good time.
I like that. I'm the same way. Like, get some candles.
Like I feel very thankful. Like I have a lot of friends who like need very specific things.
Things.
Like jingle the handle here, flush the dangle over there. Like, I don't even know what happens.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, that's so must be so hard to always have those things.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I'm
very thankful that I'm good. Everything works normally.
I know, I'm like just normal. We had to do
normal, you don't need to be normal, but we don't have any unusual requirements.
Right. Did I have an inner home name? I don't think so. I'm just like, I
love how it's like a secret thing. It's definitely not there anymore. It's just like you.
Well, we did this whole thing for Maxim when I was on VIP. Like, is there like all the girls that did? There was like 4 of us, and it was me from VIP, and like I don't even remember the other girls, and they were like all this stuff, and I was like, I really like Candle and R&B music, slow jams, and then my friends are like, wow, we were really like an old school romantic. You know what I mean? Like, give me some like G Unit, slow, like good Jodeci, and I'm good.
Yeah. So, what's funny is a lot of my, like, in my drag persona, like, even fitness, like, I'm very, like, a sexualized image. Like, I'm, like, it's a lot of my body on the internet. Like, I'm not usually wearing a lot of clothes. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's part of my...
Why would you?
That's part of my character, though, part of my business, but I'm, like, the total, like, boring and traditional. Like, I'm really, like, the guy who wants to get married and have kids, and, like... I always say, like, I used to perform with this group called Matinee in Vegas, and it's this big circuit festival, and, like, literally like 5,000 to 6,000 men from all over the world, and I'm the headliner. Like, I go and I'm the star of all the shows, but for me, it's a job. I'm there, I'm getting paid a lot of money, I'm there to perform, look a certain way, so I would do this show like 6 years in a row. I never once, like, hooked up to anybody. Because I'm there to work.
Right.
But if you looked at me, I'm like on stage in a thong performing at the Rain nightclub in Vegas. Like, everyone's like, oh, she's, whatever. And I'm like, thanks, guys. Like, just for a job. And it was just like a job.
Could not wait to get back to the
I'm like the guy who, like, leaves at the back door. Like, I'm not after partying. Like, I'm not drinking. Like, I'm there to do a show. As a dancer, I think that was really what it was for me. I missed being on stage. So performing was a way to just have that creative release. But it wasn't like, I wasn't facilitating meeting people or, like, partying. It was just a job. And I got paid really well when I did that
because
stuff.
you're kind of like a relationship guy. That's what
you're talking about. Very, like, traditional.
You like to be in a
which is, people don't expect that of me. They look at me and they think, like, party boy, and, like, they see me, like, out at events or doing these things. I'm like home in sweatpants, like, go to bed at 9:30. I wake up at 4:45 every day. Like, I want kids. Yeah. So it's shocking. People assume one thing when they see you, they don't know. Like, people are usually really scared of me too. Like, 'cause I'm sort of icy and, like, I don't even know if that's true, but, like, if you don't know me, you think I'm a little bit, like, maybe bitchy.
I don't know.
Bougie. Oh, I mean, those things are partially true. I'm sort of bitchy, and I'm sort of bougie.
I'll tell somebody to go fuck themselves. So I don't get scared of people, but I can imagine other people would be afraid of you.
Yeah, I'm a little scary. I think I'm intimidating. Maybe that's the word. Or scary.
Well, that's, like, I do get nervous. I do sometimes get nervous, like, oh, like, if I don't do it right or whatever.
Yeah.
But,
which is hard in my relationship too, because he knows what a perfectionist I am with myself and my businesses and stuff like that. So he then feels that pressure for him. And I'm like, that's not, you're perfect the way you are.
Right.
Like, this is my craziness.
It's your own thing. So what's Jason Wimberly's philosophy in life?
This is a very big moment.
Yep, this is it, because it's the last 2 questions.
Oh gosh.
The last one is good, you're gonna laugh.
My 2 big life philosophies.
Yes.
I have 2, so.
Okay.
Have a bad memory. I think it's one of the most important things in life, because if you hold on to shit too long and all the bad stuff, let it go. Like, have a bad memory. One of the keys to being happy is having a bad memory. Like, I forget about stuff all the time to the point where it's a little annoying, but, like, just let it go. Like, don't hold on to it. When you hold on to things, it's only hurting you. It's not hurting anybody else. Whoever you're mad at, whoever you're dealing with, like, forget about it. Let it go. I always say one of my superpowers is at night, I lay on bed and I fall asleep within a minute. I don't lay in bed and worry, I don't lay in bed and stress, and if anything, I should be that guy who's, like, freaking about everything. I have 15 employees now, I'm building the studio, like, what's going on, I don't know what's in with things, but I just have to let it go. So I try to have a really bad memory. That's one of my secrets to a good life.
You don't hold on to shit.
Yeah, just have a bad memory, let it go.
Yeah.
There's no point in holding on, because half the time, when you're trying to hold on to something,
No, but
the other person already forgot. They've let it go. They're worried about something else. Like, it's all in our heads, and so we really just have to let it go. I know it sounds funny, I just try to make it funny out of bed, but it really is about you're in control of your thoughts.
Right.
And
because in the bigger picture, down the road, none of that's going to matter.
Nothing.
At all.
We all spend so much time worried about what other people think of us and so not, and they're all doing the same things, but not even thinking about you.
And that's what I was going to say. What in your life right now do you give 0 F's about?
What in my life?
What in your life do you, like, I don't, like, there's something that you would care about. It doesn't sound like you care, period, but if there was something that you worried about, what don't you worry about now? Like, what do you give 0?
No,
I give 0 F's, I give 0 F's, I give 0 F's, as Ramona would say. Because I asked him earlier if he watched any kind of TV shows, but he's too busy, he doesn't watch. Doesn't watch Love After
Well,
Lockup.
however,
Doesn't watch.
little inside information, you might be seeing me on some TV shows soon, but we can't talk too much about that. But yeah, I don't watch TV, like, pop culture, it's funny, like I train a lot of celebrities, right? And half my clients are on TV now, and I don't even know what shows they're on. But like, did you see that episode? I'm like, yeah, it was great. Like, I literally have no clue. I sort of just try to, like, stay in my lane. Like I was saying, like, don't look at my competitors. I don't know who other people are doing. Otherwise, it stifles my ability to create stuff. I just sort of do. I just do.
Yeah.
I think that's my other big lesson in life, is just do it.
Just do it.
Like, literally, Nike said, got it right.
Nike
Like, stop worrying about the perfect time, waiting for the perfect day, having the whatever it is. Just do something. I have fallen on my ass. I've been fired from every job I've had. You know, I've quit every other job. You know, like, I've had everything come and go and this and that, but I just kept doing stuff.
That's right.
And you just gotta keep doing it, not be afraid. And I think that confidence, again, comes from being strong in yourself physically is a big part of it. The wall was a big metaphor for me in 2 ways. One, it was to empower our community, think about what is holding them back, what your wall is, what's on the other side. But for me in my industry, in our industry in fitness, I was also always the different one. I was the one who didn't fit in. I was one who wasn't like anybody else. I looked different than everybody else. I don't like there are no other male public trainers that look like me that are a size 4 and like have a, you know, touch up their makeup on
Stop bragging.
No, but like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm the only one. It's like me and Richard Simmons. And so my wall was really.
What was like somebody the other day, I can't gain weight. I was like, I'm sorry. That's like, you didn't say it. It was somebody at your house.
Me and Michael.
I was a Michael.
I know.
He's
my mini-me.
I know.
But that was my wall, is that I had to not worry about what everyone thought about me all the time. You know, when you remember that conversation about me and baggy clothes? When I first moved to LA.
You and Frank took my class, and I was like, what is happening with this beautiful person? He had on, it was like a balloon outfit.
Like a bro outfit, and I was like, it was
sweatshirt, sweatpants, and
probably, I don't
big.
remember, but I was just trying so hard to.
You didn't want to show your body.
I wanted to be what everyone else thought a man should look like for a long time, and
like that quintessential.
Yeah, like backwards hat, and it's not who I was, and I was trying so hard to fit in, and it's funny because when I was doing that, it was so fake, obviously, right? But when I came out with Wimberly, my DVD, I'm literally in booty shorts with a spray tan and false lashes on. And that was the whole dialogue. I'd be like, no breaks unless you're doing your touching up your lip gloss. And like, I would go on tour and teach events, and girls would come in and be like, I'm wearing false lashes for you at a workout class. Like that, I wanted to make fitness but that was really who I was. I wanted to make it glamorous and fun, and that was real. And when I finally was my real self, then I got successful. Because it was authentic.
Right.
And but it's been hard. That was my wall. Was that everyone in the fitness industry tried to tell me what to be. Even my first DVDs, they were like, I had sponsors and they're like, but we need you to tone this down, or we need you to not do that, or not do this. And I was like, no. And so my first DVD I actually paid for all myself. I paid everything, produced it myself, created it myself. And within a month, I sold all 50 states and had massive distributors and sold out. But it was because I wouldn't let everybody else tell me. That was my wall. I couldn't let everybody else tell me what I needed to be. I had to be myself and just believe in it.
So that's what you give 0 F's about.
Yeah, I don't give F what anyone else thinks about me. I don't care.
What they think about you, and I think that's the best thing to have in life is not caring about what people think about you.
People think a lot of things about me. People talk about me a lot, and I my business partner recently, he's like, do you know that so-and-so was saying this? And I was like...
And who cares?
I was like, I don't care. First of all, it was years... it was years ago, and all I care about, at least they're talking about me. No matter where they are, I'm a part of their conversation. At least I did something right, even if it's not negative or not positive in
I
their
mean,
eyes.
I think people, you know, especially in Hollywood, if they're talking about you, that's a good thing, no matter what, if it's good or bad. But I think most of the things are very good when it comes to you and your accomplishments and all of the things that we will be doing in the future and the lives that we will be changing and the bodies that we will be getting in shape. So that being said, we're gonna wrap it up here. Thank you, Jason, for coming to Night Coffees with Nat. Cheers. Check us out. Thank you so much for listening. And you're on our podcast, wherever you podcast, you can hear us.
You can also
iTunes.
follow me at
Please.
Jason Wimberly and at The Wall Fitness.
Come to Wall Fitness, because you all need to like sign yourself up now, because it's going to be the place you want to get in shape at. And
where everyone's welcome. Like, for being a luxury experience, everyone's a VIP in my studio. I don't care where you come from, what weight you lift, what you're dealing with, where you're home. It's not one of those situations, and you know what? I'm going to just say this last thing. You will come, you're going to feel like a celebrity in our studio, because everybody that comes there matters. Yeah. I went to a couple of studios, and because I wasn't like a name, two friends, two people that I know, that I've worked with, they pushed me aside because there was a celebrity there. Yeah, you're not going to feel that way at our studio, no matter what. Come on and see us. Come to www.thewallfitness.com. Jason's website. Check me out on NatalieRaitano.net. Natalie Raitano everywhere except for Instagram. SuperNat444. We love you. Cheers. Be super, guys. People.